Hello everyone, welcome to our first OCC What's Your Story Insight, and today we're going to talk to Ilse Berry from Pink Spaghetti. Morning Ilse.
Morning James.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And you?
Good. Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Good.
It's great to see you this morning.
Thank you very much.
What I'd really like to do is we'd like to know about who you are and what you do.
Well, as you said, I'm Pink Spaghetti PA Services, based near Banbury. So we do a lot of things. So I'll try and be succinct. So we offer, our basic offer is to provide more time to small businesses and busy people. So we do the things that small businesses either don't have time to do, don't know how to do, or really don't like doing. And sometimes all those three things can be the same. So we provide a range of services covering that. Do you want me to be a little bit more specific?
Yeah, so how can you help other business owners?
Yeah, so there's I guess some general headings that they come under, and for different businesses they will mean different things. So I guess the main type of service that we offer is around admin support. So for some customers that means keeping a CRM, creating one. I'm in the process of creating one for a client at the moment, getting that set up so that he can keep track of his contacts that he meets at various locations, that he gets prompted to contact them again, or we can integrate and automate that so that he doesn't even have to think about it. He can, things can just get sent out. Help some businesses with their bookkeeping, sending invoices out, chasing invoices that haven't been paid, diary management, email management. A lot of the work coming through at the moment, people seem to be quite keen and getting on top of their email marketing. So I know how to use MailChimp. I use it myself and do it for other clients. So I've been doing some work for clients, either in scheduling their mailings or readjusting the template that they have, if it reflects their brand colors, for example, which maybe they hadn't done before. So that's on the admin side that I've been doing. I also do some social media scheduling for businesses. So maybe they know what they want to say in posts, or somebody has done that end of things in a kind of strategic marketing sort of way, but they just don't have time to do that day-to-day posting, and maybe even having a second pair of eyes look over what they've written. So I do a lot of that as well. So one thing I've started to do, a new client, which is really interesting, he has just launched a series of podcasts, and what he wants to do is create them into a blog on his website and have articles alongside it, as well as the visual, the audio, should I say. So that's quite good. So he's brought me in to do, so he gets the audio file ready, and basically I do all the other steps. So I transcribe the audio, write it into an article form, put it on his website, promote it on LinkedIn for him, or whatever other channel. That's the one he's using at the moment. So yeah, that's been an interesting new project that I'm looking forward to getting stuck into more about.
Excellent, cool. So you said you're based in Banbury.
Yeah.
Now I believe Pink Spaghetti is a franchise, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So
are you postcode limited, or can you have clients from beyond your specific area that you're a franchisee for?
Yeah, so we're limited to postcode areas in terms of networking and advertising, but we can have clients from wherever, because the franchise recognizes that the very essence of small businesses, or certainly growing a small business, is through personal connections. So if I meet somebody, or somebody recommends me that I have met, and even though they might be based in Banbury but the client is based somewhere else, that doesn't matter. So yeah, we can have clients from wherever.
So yeah, it's true that the power of personal connection is really important for the small business.
Definitely. Yeah.
So what actually in your business gets you out of bed in the mornings? What are the key things that you really get excited about doing through your clients?
It's interesting because since I started this, I've loved Monday mornings, and I think for so many years, you know, I'll go, oh my God, it's Sunday afternoon, and we dread the Mondays. But I always look at it as a fresh start, again, kind of stuck into doing some client work, and you know, some of my own work in terms of promoting what I do and talking about my services. So I guess what gets me out is that well, at the moment I'm lucky in that I'm very busy. There's a lot of client work coming in and a lot to do, so I certainly don't want to let them down, and let myself down. So that certainly gets me out of bed in the morning, and just I guess the thought of growing the business even more means that I not only do I need to make sure that the work I produce for clients is satisfactory and certainly, you know, what's expected, but I also need to keep that pipeline going, and keep myself out there and keep my name out there, and so yeah, that's work that's constantly in motion as well.
Yeah. So at the beginning of that, you alluded to the fact that you had a life before Pink Spaghetti. So I'd quite like to know how you got from what you were doing before to becoming such an amazing personal assistant.
Oh, thanks, James. Well, yeah, so I started my business about 18 months ago. Prior to that, for the previous 12 years, I was working at the Open University. I was a senior manager and one of the administrative support sections, if you like. And so I had carried out various roles within that department until I kind of reached the heady heights of senior management. Prior to that, I'd had a range of roles, either PA or admin related, quite often in education settings. I quite enjoyed that sphere of work, and I also did some, I think about 3 years of one-to-one work with young people when I lived in London, and that was certainly an eye-opener and very much a learning curve, not just in terms of skills but in terms of resilience and understanding of people very different lives. So yeah, so I think what made me decide to go down the Pink Spaghetti route was that although I really loved where I worked and loved my job, it was a long commute. It was quite inflexible in terms of I had 2 young children, my husband traveled a lot, and I felt that I didn't have much control over what I wanted to do. But I also wanted to enjoy what I did. So I had to think about, well, what was it that I've enjoyed in the past doing? I've always enjoyed the admin end of things, the working with other people, the problem solver, fixer type roles.
Troubleshooting.
So yeah, exactly. So I came across Pink Spaghetti a couple of years ago. There was an article in the paper, and I remember reading it initially, and I thought, oh, I need something like that in my life. And I thought, wait a minute, I could do that. You know, I could definitely do that. So there was probably about a year of me, just kind of chatting to the franchise, and I, you know, just trying to decide whether this was the right way to go. And I really kind of got good vibes from anyone I was in contact with. Really liked the offer, and I think it's one of those things that you either feel like it's for you or it's not, and or you get or you don't. And I certainly kind of got it. I got all the kind of ethic behind it, and the values that they have, and the way in which they work for clients as well. So yeah, so I probably about a year ago, I got notification, no, not 2 years ago. So I got notification that I was going to be made redundant. It was a voluntary redundancy, so it was fine. But because I've been working there for so long, I was in for quite a nice payoff, which definitely helped to make that decision for me in terms of buying the franchise, and in terms of having that first, say, 6 months without having the pressure of having to worry about where the money was coming from. So yeah.
Cool. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. So my last question really is, what does the future hold for Ilse and for Pink Spaghetti in Banbury?
Yes, well, hopefully it's an exciting one. I have lofty ambitions, which I hope will come true. So at the end, in terms of growing the business, so at the end of October, I took on my first employee.
Well,
So I've got an
congratulations.
admin assistant, thank you, called Emily, who's fantastic, and it's so nice to have just someone else to work with, but also, yeah, that can just kind of take some of the things away, which is what I try to say to my clients. So that's fantastic, and I'd love to grow it. So she's working on quite a part-time basis at the moment, so it'd be great to have her hours grow when I grow the business. I'd also like to be able to take someone on who can focus on maybe the creative side as well, so offer kind of wider services around social media in terms of image creation and writing posts, which I can do myself, but again, it's that time limited thing. There's only a certain amount of hours to do in the day, and I think once I get my kind of team under my belt, or it'll be a juggling act, I'd like to think that, yeah, I would have a small team working for me and continuing to grow and provide those services for the local business community.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ilse. Thanks for spending the time with me this morning to just explain a little bit about who you are and what you do. That's absolutely amazing. I will, at the end of the interview here, there will be a card come up with all your contact information. So if anybody in the OCC wants to reach out to you, there'll be many ways for them to do that. So thank you so much for this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity, James. Lovely to see you.
Great. And you. Thank you.